Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Thursday as we wrap up hour 3. Got about half an hour to go in the show. 622-9622 is the number to call if you would like to speak with us.
And
Joe,
now,
Joe.
Okay, go ahead.
You kind of did something wrong.
Again?
Oh, well, you were during the break. Some of the best conversations we have are during the break, and it's not because of the language. We don't use colorful language in the break.
Not usually, unless we're talking about someone.
Well, because it's hard to go from colorful language to FCC-approved language.
That's true.
It's very
With
very
you,
difficult.
yeah.
Very difficult. So, but you were telling me about your trials and tribulations of the return trip.
Oh, traffic.
And wrecks and everything.
That's
First off, between Hardeeville, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia, is wreck central.
Yeah.
And you will just sit.
Oh, yeah. As I got off the exit 5.
Hardeeville.
You get off the exit, and the exit goes up and makes a loop to the right.
Right.
So you're able to look ahead where you would have gone.
And you could see miles
of red lights.
Yep.
I said,
Well, what you should have done is when you got off Hardeeville, just continued on 211, which was
17.
Well, no, you could go to 17 to the left after the QT, but if you go 17 to the right and then you go down, you get on County Road 211.
Mm-hmm.
Take County Road 211, it says you're going towards Hilton Head.
Oh.
And you can go towards Hilton Head, go towards the County Road 211. You'll come into a town called Beaufort, South Carolina, just before you get to Hilton Head.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a road, and I forget the designation of the road. And anybody who's ever taken that road, like Hank Whittier, would be able to tell you what that road is, the number of the road.
Okay.
Because it's the road that leads
back to
Parris Island.
Oh, yeah. I've seen signs.
You were literally within 15 miles of Parris Island, South Carolina.
I did. I drove by the sign that said Parris Island Visitor Center. Oh, yeah.
You were real close to Parris Island, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. I was on 95. When I got back on 95, right. it was. I think it was the next exit.
But when you got off at the QT, you could have got there on the back roads.
Yeah.
Real quick, too.
Than the way I went.
Yeah, than the way you went.
Well, I went the way I knew.
And, they didn't let a Navy guy on the base.
I don't know if they're doing that anymore.
They maybe never have let you off, but they'll let you on.
Well, since 9/11, the bases, you got to jump through a lot of hoops to get on the base.
Yeah, you do. Now you do. But, yeah, you were that close to almost being a Marine.
Well, I could have been on that base one time. At one time.
You were almost a Marine.
I was CB.
I know. You were almost.
And during my CB training, I was in reserve CB, and back then they had 2 weeks a year you go on you become active for 2 weeks. And those 2 weeks, they were going to Parris Island. So I was set to go to Parris Island. And then they had emergency cuts because of funding. And if you had excellent attendance, blah blah blah, you get out early. So I got out early.
You got out early. No Parris
I
Island.
I missed it by that much.
No. Good job, Don Adams.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No sand gnat for you.
Nothing.
Because sand gnats are big on Parris Island.
I know.
They
carry you away.
But you got to see I'm very impressed that you got to see parts of Georgia that most people don't stop and see.
I drove. I didn't get off the exit, but at East Georgia, Tyler Perry Studios. They had the exit there, but I didn't get off.
In East Point.
Correct, East Point. And Tom's showing off. East Point. He's rolling his eyes. You can't see it at the camera. He's rolling his eyes. If you got the camera running, I don't know. You got the camera
I do.
Yeah, okay, there he's rolling his eyes again. But I didn't know this. That should be a Army base.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
He bought it. He bought an old Army base. Yep.
Yeah, and he turned it into a studio.
Yeah, it was a World War II Army base actually. Still got the Gomer Pyle curved barracks and everything.
What's it called? Hudson? No, not Hudson.
No, it's
If I hadn't said that, it wouldn't have stuck in my. Yeah. Tom's cuddling his mic trying to figure out the name of it.
Yeah, if you hadn't said
Quatson Huts.
Yeah.
There
right.
we go.
Yeah.
Had to flip it around.
Right. So they
still have them there.
Oh,
a few of them.
Yeah.
See, up in Connecticut, they had them during the war, and they had, I think, the people that the dependents went and fought for the war. They had nowhere to live, and they had these all next to the Peabody Museum.
Right.
And I grew up driving by them there. And the ladies out there with the clothesline, living in the huts, the Quonset huts.
And the little curved huts.
All the steel huts. Yeah. And then finally, a little at a time, they're all gone. Became a parking lot.
Gone. But, yeah, you were that close to Parris Island.
That close. That close.
Yeah. Missed it by that. You could have used a shoe phone and called.
I probably should have.
Could have used a shoe phone.
Thrown a shoe at him or whatever.
That's too many Don Adams references.
That's
now.
too many.
Leave it alone.
That's it. But there's a place on Route 80 in Connecticut, just outside New Haven. There was a gentleman that had a Quonset hut. It was like right off the road, and the road had a little hill, and he built it into the hill, and that was his house.
Yeah.
You drive by it all the time, man. So those things are made. They still make them.
Oh
now.
yeah. Well, that's one of the new
fads
that's going on right now is taking the big 20-foot high, 80-foot long metal buildings and building the metal building, and then going into the inside of the metal building and framing it out and making it a luxurious house.
Oh yeah.
Because the metal building itself is so affordable.
The Quonset hut, as ugly as they look, because they're military.
Right.
They got that curved arch, which repels all wind and all. As far as snow, it
falls off.
Flays right. Yeah. You don't need gutters.
Nope.
And
it was a piece of architectural genius.
Oh yeah, and it all comes. And guess the piece I think are 12 foot long, so two people could put this sucker together.
Yeah.
Bolt it together and boom, 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 boom. And the good part is, let's say the arch is 12 foot high.
Yeah.
You can live in that, no problem.
Of course, that's a high ceiling.
That's a high ceiling. But along with that is, the length is how long you want it? 40 foot, 50 foot, 100 foot, 200 foot. It just keep adding on. It just keeps rolling right along.
And going.
Like a battery.
Yeah, the new fad right now is to take these big metal buildings and then frame them out inside. And make them
you can't tell.
Inside.
You can't tell.
No. There's one that's for sale right near where Susan and I live. Just down from where Susan and I live, there's one for sale.
What is it? A Quonset hut or is it
it's a
cargo?
It's a 30-foot high.
30 foot high?
By 100-foot long metal building.
30 foot?
30 foot.
What, they got 2 stories inside?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so I stopped and got the literature. It's out there on the little for sale sign.
Oh, really? Yeah. How much? 1 point what?
Must look good inside. And you see there's some photos on the little pamphlet. And it does look very luxurious. It's in like a hunting lodge type style with the wood in it.
How much acreage?
It sits on an acre of land.
Acre of land, 30 foot high. It's too big for the land.
No, it fits on the land fine.
It's pretty good?
It fits on the land fine.
How much?
It's actually more affordable than I thought. $239.9 is what they're asking.
That's amazing.
Yeah. $239.9 is what they're asking.
Wow, that'll go quick.
I'm sure.
That'll go fast.
But it's a big metal building, but the inside has been tricked out.
I like that, tricked out.
So,
Tom's showing his age, tricked out.
I am, what are you want from me?
Well, the metal buildings, if you take care of them, they'll last 50 years.
Right.
You don't take care of them, they'll last 25.
But you put the metal building out there, and then you insulate it well and everything.
Oh, yeah. There are so many do-it-yourself shows out there, DIY shows. If you pay attention and do the homework, it's unbelievable. I never knew spray foam.
Yeah.
The industrial spray foam. There are, I think, 4, 5, or 6 different types of spray foam that you can put in your walls, on your walls, existing walls. I didn't know that if you use the wrong spray foam, you could blow out your walls because it expands so much. But if you're using it where there's only one side of the wall, it fills up all the space. But when you go into inside a normal existing wall, they drill small holes. It goes right down, and they use a different foam, and it fills, but doesn't.
I was watching this thing the other day where they framed up the walls of this one home. Mm-hmm. They framed up the walls, and they put a thin sheet of insulation, the hardy board insulation on the outside, and they sprayed foam.
Yeah, on the inside.
On the outside.
Oh, okay.
And then the foam came out, and they left about where the hardy board was, where they sprayed the foam. They'd framed that out, and so there was probably 3 inches of board, 3 inches of opening where the foam went. Well, then they came with something looked like a hedge trimmer or something.
Yeah.
Trimmed the foam even with the board.
Yeah.
And then put the outside, the outside
shingling,
another board, and then the,
shingles.
It's not shingles.
Siding.
On the roof, siding.
Okay.
They put the siding on, but they did it from the inside out instead of the outside in.
It's because the inside was already existing.
But right, and so what they did, they had that little the foam board that they put up that was 3/8 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
And then they put 3 inches of spray foam.
Yeah, as long as that spray foam is shielded from the environment, it'll last forever.
And then they put another piece of that foam board
over the top of that.
Then they put the siding on.
Oh my goodness.
That's as insulated as you can get.
Yeah.
Foam insulation board,
way.
spray foam insulation board, then the siding.
Yep, there's another way to do it. Keeps your R rating high. You get a 2x4, put it up. These are your walls now. 2x4, then I think it was a 4-inch, where another 2x4 would have been, but they're now 3.5 inches. How they still get, that's another story. A space and another 2x4. So you get 2x4, 3-inch space, 2x4. You insulate either side, and you have that air. Either side of that wall will stay either warm or on the outside will stay cold. But that air, it never transfers across.
Right, because it's blocked in there. It's trapped in there.
It's trapped in, and it's like, wow.
They're using air as insulation.
Basically.
Yeah.
There's another spray that I just realized they have out there now. A cork spray.
Yep.
And that goes on the wall, and it looks great. It looks great how they're getting to, and the sprays are better, a lot more, I won't say better, but a different approach to the matting, the fiberglass matting. And that's going away of the dodo bird. You know what they're making insulation out of right now? Old denim clothes.
Yeah.
By the thousands. It goes through a process. They put a bonding, and it looks just like the sheets of the fiberglass insulation where you scratch and itch and what have you. But tell you what, we're progressing. More progressing. What you got?
I'm looking at the National Hurricane Center. Somebody sent me a text message that said, look at the tropics. There may be a problem.
Coming this way?
Well, right now it's disturbance 18, and it's way off. It's halfway between South America and Africa.
Oh.
So it's a long way away.
But
it's going to be by Tuesday at 2 a.m. It's going to be a Cat 2 hurricane, and the cone of travel has it. If the cone of travel stays where it is, it has it right in the Jacksonville, Savannah, Hilton Head area.
Ooh.
Now that could all change because they're saying that right now they only got 5-day cone, and it's Tuesday of next week. So, and they're not saying all kind of things could change. But so the reason I tell you that is to start looking. Listen to WOCA. We'll keep you up to date. We're your emergency station for hurricane preparedness and everything. So listen to us. We'll tell you if there's any evacuations. We'll keep you up to date on storms. That's what we do here.
That's the idea.
That's what we do here.
Joe we'll get the
Joe doesn't know that, but that's what we do here.
That's why you get paid the big bucks. Now that we get the you didn't know that?
That's considered big bucks?
To me it is.
We need to talk.
Yeah, we talk all you like. I want to watch you turn blue in the face. So we'll get the backwash of that storm.
Maybe. If it stays on that trajectory.
Okay.
But it could change. You never know. It's still probably a week and a half out from being. It's probably next weekend before we have to worry about the storm for the United States.
That's all right.
But it's still
keep an eye
on that. Be prepared.
Well, the whole thing is years ago everyone was caught with their pants down. Now it's like we know what's happening. Don't wait till the last minute. If you got to get out, batten down the hatches and take anything that's super valuable with you and get out of town.
Were you, was it lost on you that the last 2 named storms were Pete Rose? Last 2 named storms were Peter and Rose. Is that the hurricane?
I didn't catch that.
Is that the hurricane?
I didn't catch that.
Does that mean the Hurricanes are telling us he needs to be in the Hall of Fame? I think that's what it means. I just,
You were just impressed I knew he was a catcher.
He was a third baseman and a first baseman. Johnny Bench was a catcher.
Oh, Johnny Bench was the catcher. Damn it all.
At least you knew it was baseball.
At least I knew it was baseball. Yeah, give me that.
Which is impressive for you.
Oh, definitely.
That is Joe's entire knowledge of sports was just on display. Right.
That was it. Now,
He
believe it
knows
or not,
Pete Rose played baseball
believe it or not, I watched some sports while I was away. About 5 minutes here,
because
5
it was
minutes
on the TV.
because it was on
Exactly.
because it was I was on the TV, and my son-in-law loves sports, so he's got a big
Now
TV.
where were you at in North Carolina?
Mills River, Hendersonville
Mills
area,
River, Hendersonville area.
Asheville area.
So not very far into North Carolina.
What do you mean? We're in the mountains.
Yeah, but the mountains start in Georgia, Joe.
Okay, we're in the upper mountains.
Okay. You don't get to the big mountains till you get to where I lived in Boone.
Wow, I've been there many times.
That's where you get to Asheville. Everybody goes, Asheville's in the mountains. Asheville's at like 4,100 feet.
No, 31.
Is it 31? See, that's
31.
even
Where I was about 23.
See, so that's a hill.
Okay. Oh yeah, but compared
Where
to
I lived in Boone, I was
I
at
know.
6,100.
I know you weren't that high.
Yeah, no, I was at 5,700. Mount Mitchell was 6,100.
66.
Right.
Keep going.
But
I'll school you on this. This I know.
But then there are places, there are little places like Venice, North Carolina, and stuff on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Oh yeah.
That you're just hanging off the side of a mountain, and it's a free fall for about 4,000 feet.
Oh yeah. Vance, late Governor Vance.
Yeah,
You
go around.
You go down there. Wow.
That road, the way the Blue Ridge Parkway is connected to Grandfather Mountain, where on the right-hand side you're right against Grandfather,
On the left,
and on the left hand it's just, hey, that's a long way down.
you pay attention.
Because the road is literally cantilevered built
Yep.
on the side of the mountain.
Oh yeah.
It's not supported by earth.
No.
It is attached to earth,
Yes.
but it is not supported
I drove.
by earth.
I drove over that with the motorcycle.
And by the way, that part of the Blue Ridge Parkway, even though it's cantilevered and everything, they still have the stones and everything, you know,
yeah.
to make it look good. The architectural amazements that the Blue Ridge Parkway accomplishes is quite a bit. You weren't in the mountains; you were in the hills. The mountains are where I was.
Well, I drove the whole length of the Blue Ridge Parkway into Virginia and to the end of Fort Royal.
Yeah,
Front
that's what
Royal
people,
or Fort Royal?
That's what people
Front
think.
Royal.
People think the Blue Ridge Parkway is like the Appalachian Trail, and it's not.
No,
The
no,
Blue
it
Ridge
ain't.
Parkway starts in Georgia.
Fort Royal, Virginia. Though.
It ends in Fort Royal.
Or either start or finish.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It starts in Georgia and it ends in Virginia, or it starts in Virginia and ends in Georgia.
The Blue Ridge Parkway?
Yep. Blue Ridge.
No. Blue Ridge Parkway.
No, the
Cherokee.
That Cherokee's where the Blue Ridge Parkway ends.
Yeah.
Then the Smoky. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Say Parkway. Then it changes to the Skyland Drive.
Skyland Drive, right?
Then
yeah.
it ends. Yeah.
You didn't get the Cherokee
When? Oh no.
this trip.
No.
I love Cherokee.
No. It was like I said. It was a
I remember Cherokee.
semi vacation, but I was working from the station up there.
I remember Cherokee, North Carolina, in 1996 when I lived in Boone. I would take the 2-hour trip. I would take the 2-hour trip down to Maggie Valley, Cherokee.
We probably passed each other.
And
I was there in '96.
Remember, then it was just a bingo hall and a little poker room.
Well, the bingo hall was in a steel building.
Right, metal building.
Yeah.
They had across the street was where you could buy all your turquoise belts and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they had the metal building that you could buy cigarettes in, play bingo, and play poker.
And it stunk.
Oh, it's horrible.
It was.
Then they built the casino, and so in '97, my buddy goes, "You got to come with me to this casino."
Yeah, it's big.
It's huge. So I go there. It was a bigger metal building
That's it.
with machines, no live stuff, no live people.
No.
It was like you played blackjack on a TV screen.
Yes.
You played.
Yes.
You had a roller
Yes.
ball to play craps.
Yes.
Everything. It was all machines.
Have you ever been to Foxwood in Connecticut?
Yeah.
All right.
And Mohegan Sun.
And Mohegan Sun, right? Well, Mohegan's smaller. Foxwood's the giant one.
Foxwoods at one time was the largest casino in the world.
Was at one time, yeah. Well, when my dad, his last year of life, came to North Carolina to live with me, I said, "Let's go to Cherokee, to the casino."
Yep.
We walked in there, and he just stood there, and he looked around, and we're standing at the main entrance, and he looked around, and I knew what was going through his head. I just waited for it. And basically, I'll paraphrase it. Where's the rest of it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because the size of the Cherokee Casino was about the size of a cafeteria
Certainly.
at Foxwood.
In 1997, when I first walked that casino, you could walk from one end of that casino to the other end of the casino in about 4 minutes.
At
3
least,
minutes.
maybe.
And that's if you stop and play the slot
You know
machine.
what I loved about that?
That's if you stop and play the slot machine.
When someone hit on the slot machine or
You
something,
could hear it.
you hear it. But on the ceiling, from the front to the back, they had lightning. And the lightning would boom, and the lightning would go, "Hey, somebody won, yay!"
Yep. Yeah, I love my days in Cherokee. I would love going to Cherokee. I go on the weekends. It's fantastic. Yeah. Then I would go to Ghost Town in the Sky a lot too.
I don't know if that's still.
It was in 1996.
Oh, it was going there. Yeah, I've been there many times.
Maggie Valley.
Oh yeah, Maggie
And the
Valley.
reason I went to Ghost Town in the
Joe's
Sky.
Pancake Shop.
The reason I went to Ghost Town in the Sky is Ghost Town in the Sky was at one time owned by the same company that owned Six Gun Territory.
And Tweetsie River.
Yeah. And so Ghost Town in the Sky was a mountain version of Six Gun Territory that we had here in Ocala.
And the people that hit one went up there.
Oh, yeah.
Back and forth.
Right. And I loved Six Gun Territory. As a kid, it was my favorite place.
Oh, yeah. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up.
So, and Tweetsie Railroad's still open in between Blow and Rock and Boone, still to this day.
Open, yeah.
And it has one of the original locomotives that was at Six Gun Territory here in town.
Oh, that's where it went?
One of them did.
Yeah. That's
They
fairly.
got one out on the Kirby family farm, too.
Yeah. I've driven by Tweetsie Railroad, of course, Ghost Town in the Sky many, many times. Six Gun was closed by the time I got here.
I've been to Tweetsie and Ghost Town in the Sky probably, in my adult life, probably 20 times each.
Really?
In my adult life, yeah. Tweetsie was right there in between Blow and Rock and Boone.
Now, they used to have a up in Maggie Valley, there was another little bang bang shoot 'em up town and a water park next to it.
That was Ghost Town in the Sky.
No, that's in the sky. This is down level.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been to that. I've never been.
That's the one that you sit on a rug and you scoot down with the water. And I went scooting down on my back, way all the way down. But what happened? The rug was too short for me.
It gets your back all over.
Oh, I was all bloody. Yeah. I got up and everyone. Oh,
yeah.
No,
I never went there. I did go to Tweetsie Railroad, and I went to the Blowing Rock in Blowing Rock, North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, where the princess fell and it came back up to the man.
Yeah. And they literally, you throw a tennis ball off.
Yeah.
And the vortex there will take the tennis ball and it'll fall, and then here it comes back to you.
I've never seen anybody do that.
You can do it. And then, of course, at Grandfather Mountain, you got the Mile High Bridge.
That's scary. There's a camera up there if you want to see it now.
There's the Mile High Bridge where you're 1 mile up. You're not 1 mile above the ground. The bridge itself is 1 mile above sea level.
Yes.
You're only about 1,200 feet above the ground.
Only 1,200 feet. And it's a swinging bridge.
Yeah, and it's a swinging bridge. That's the thing.
It will move.
It moves.
Well, they shut it down if it's too bad up there.
If it gets windy, it's too bad. They'll shut down. But it'll move. It'll move.
Now, what happens if you walk across and you're fine? Then you go back. I'm sorry, we're closed. What?
I don't know. Well, there's ways down from both sides.
Facetious.
Hey, I want to thank my guest today, Joe Martone.
No, well, thank you so much.
And Galen,
Oh, yeah.
and the listeners. Without the listeners, this radio station would be nothing. So we appreciate you and all of our sponsors that graciously sponsor this show that's called Ocala Talks. We'll be back tomorrow for a Friday edition. That's right, Dumb Crook News tomorrow. Maybe we'll get Joe to come in the studio for Dumb Crook News.
Susan's been holding the fort down.
Susan's been holding the fort down pretty well.
Yeah.
Same time tomorrow, folks, right here at WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The Food and Drug Administration on Wednesday authorized Pfizer booster shots for people above the age of 65 or any adult age who are at high risk. The FDA said it approved a single booster shot for certain people to be administered at least 6 months after receiving their first 2 shots. Republican Senator Tim Scott accused Democrats of squandering a crucial opportunity to complete police reform Wednesday as bipartisan talks break down with no outcome. Democrat Congresswoman Karen Bass of California claims Senator Scott is the reason negotiations broke down, saying his demands were too high. The remains of a hunter who disappeared 53 years ago in the wilds of Idaho were discovered by another hunter on Friday. 39-year-old Raymond Jones was last seen on September 7, 1968, while bow hunting